Hello guys and welcome to the another video. So in this video we will be looking about the details for semi-solid dosage forms. In our previous video we have seen the solid dosage forms which are compressible or uncompressible, and this is about the semi-solid dosage forms, means next dosage forms. So as you see in the pictures, ointments, cream, paste, gel, suppositories. So what does this mean? This means that these are not completely solid in nature. These are semi-solid in nature, mean mixture of solid and aqueous phase. So some kind of sticky or some kind of containing moistures in them. So let's get started with their details. What is semi-solid dosage form, or we call it SSD? Semi-solid dosage forms are a type of medication that is neither solid nor liquid. They are somewhere in between the two states, right? This is clear. These medications are applied to the skin, nasal mucosa, cornea, rectal or vaginal tissue, often via suppository, buccal tissue, ear or urethral member, right? The site of administration can differ, like skin, nasal, means nose, cornea, eyes, rectal or vaginal for the ladies, often via suppository, buccal via mouth, ear or urethral member from the urethra part. Solids, semi-solid dosage forms often involve two phases, oil and water. One phase is continuous or external, while the other phase is dispersed or internal. So this is a mixture of oil and a water, right? So one phase is continuous or external, right? One phase is continuous external. So outer part is, you see the outer part of the external part, outer or external part, and the other part is dispersed or internal, right? So this could be oil and this could be water, or this could be oil or this could be water, anything, but these are divided into two parts, oil and water. Active ingredients can be dissolved in one or both phases, like I already have said. The API can be dissolved in any of the phase, oil or water, or oil or water, right? This is important to remember. So semi-solid dosage for the examples, semi-solid dosage forms examples: cream, ointments, gel, suppository, paste, and then the lotion. There could be some other examples also, but these are the most commonly used semi-solid dosage forms. We will see this, a few of these in details in the coming slides. So first is cream. Pharmaceutical creams are semi-solid preparations containing one or more medicinal agents dissolved in either an oil is to water or water is to oil emulsion, right? This is simple. These are the semi-solid preparations containing one or medicinal agents. So as you see, this is the cream. So this can have one API or two API or three API. This can have number of APIs depending upon the type and action which we want. And this can be dissolved in oil is to water or water is to oil emulsion. Creams find primarily application in topical skin products and also in products using rectally and vaginally. So creams can be applied on our skin, the skin of our any parts like hand, mouth, face. You might be knowing cream which we use in our daily purpose, but it can be also used in the rectally or vaginally, right, depending upon their purpose. Many patients and physicians prefer creams to ointment because they are easier to spread and remove than ointments. Ointments are somewhat greasy in nature, and after applying, these are not easy to remove. So creams are more preferable than ointments. We'll see few details about ointments also. Creams have a relatively soft and spreadable consistency. So as I said, this is easy to spread, easy to remove, and this is soft in nature. Cream. Creams are oil in water emulsion containing large percentages of water and stearic acid and other oleaginous components, right? Creams are oil in water emulsion containing large amount of water. So water is more in cream. This is example of a cream. If you see, cream is not hard in nature, so it contains moisture and it contains water emulsion in their composition, so therefore it is containing large amount of water and stearic acid. Since creams include large percentage of water, they are easily vanished by water. This is very obvious. Many patients and physicians prefer creams to ointments because they are easier to spread and remove. These points already I have discussed. So next is ointments. Ointments are semi-solid preparations intended for external application to the skin or mucous membrane, right? So these are only applied to the external skin. Semi-solid preparation intended for external application, not to the internal applications. You have to remember this. Uses emollient, or application for active ingredient to the skin, occlusive. These are some of the uses for the ointments. Gels. So next semi-solid dosage is gems. Gels are semi-solid system in which liquid phase is constrained with a 3D polymeric matrix having a high degree of physical or chemical cross-linking. 3D means you see here one link is there, here one link is there, here one link is there, then here one link is there, like this. This is high complex. In the creams and in the ointments we doesn't find 3D orientation, you see 3D linking, right? And then this will be a cross polymer 3D linking, you see here. This is very important, 3D cross polymer linking constant with the 3D polymer matrix having a high degree of physical and chemical cross linking. Gels. This is how the gels, if you see the gels under a microscope, you will see some kind of cross linking like this 3D cross linking matrix. Gels are aqueous colloidal system of hydrated forms of insoluble medicaments. This is clear. Jellies are transparent or translucent, non-greasy semi-solid and contain more water than gels. This is one example of gels. Jellies I have included in the gel, sorry for that. Jellies are transparent or translucent, non-greasy semi-solid and contain more water than gels. Gels has less water compared to jellies. And jellies also, we eat some kind of jellies also, so those are also semi-solid dosage forms example. So those are transparent in nature. If you see, this is a gel cup and gel cup. So this is transparent, means light can pass through this, and this contains less water, more water than the gels. Suppository. This is one of the very important semi-solid dosage forms. Suppositories are transdermal semi-solid dosage forms. Transdermal means it is given through, it is inserted and it is dissolved in our body. They have transdermal skin, they reach to the transdermal area of our body. They have an external membrane that melts, dissolves or softens at body temperature, which releases the active ingredient so it can be absorbed into the bloodstream. So suppositories are inserted into a blood cavity such as the vagina or rectum. So what does this two line means? You see here we have a suppository, this is a suppository and this is our rectal part, right? It is inserted with the help of a stick here, it is inserted with the help of a stick, and then you see it is gets into our rectum part, it goes here and then it is added here, right? So this suppository has a external membrane that dissolves whenever it reaches to our body, and whenever it attains the body temperature, this outer layer of the suppository get ruptures or it breaks and the API inside get dissolves into our body. So you see this outer body gets dissolved and it gets get absorbed into our body. There can be different shapes of suppository: round, long, teardrop, bullet, and then the tampon size. And let's see the advantage and disadvantage of semi-solid dosage forms. Advantages include: the major advantage that it can be applied directly to the affected area, it gives prolonged action and does not need to be administered orally. This is the main advantage. So we do not need to take orally, it is applied topically and it can apply directly to the affected area. Suppose we have got some issue in our hand, so it can directly apply to the hand, we do not need to take orally, and it gives prolonged action also. It has no dose accuracy and needs to be applied directly. We do not know how much dose we are going to apply, right? Cream or gels or suppository or some other kind of, we directly apply into our body. Paste, and it needs to be applied directly. It is convenient for unconscious patients or such as like children or old patients or people for whom oral administration is difficult, right? It is one of the advantages. In general, pharmaceutical creams, ointments, gels, suppository and paste are greasy and they are difficult to clean. So few of the medicaments like ointments, gels, suppository, these are greasy in nature, and this is difficult to remove with the help of water also, somewhat difficult. It is suitable for medicines with a bitter taste and it does not need to be taken orally. As already discussed, it need not need to be taken through orally. So some of the drugs are bitter in taste and not so good in odor and taste, so they can be directly applied to our body. The semi-solid dosage form is less stable than the solid dosage forms. Comparatively, the stability is less. Next is different drugs and excipients or ingredients can be added together to form a single dose, right? In case of cream we've seen, say 1 to 3 API can be added, or others like gels or paste. Many APIs can be added into a single medicament. Semi-solid dosage forms are usually a costly drug because its manufacturing process is complex. As compared to the tablets and capsule, this is somewhat complex to prepare, therefore the manufacturing cost becomes more. It is possible after each use, as it is used externally, therefore reducing the side or risk effects. Some patients will become irritation or allergic, right, while applying onto our skin or suppository. Few of the patients are not comfortable to take that, so they could be allergic in nature. It does not harm the GIT tract as it does not need to be taken orally. This is already discussed. Our GIT tract can be protected. Semi-solid dosage forms are physicochemical less stable compared with the solid dosage forms. We have already discussed in our previous slide. They are less stable. It is more convenient for patients than other forms of drug administration, right? As it is applied topically onto our skin, it is more convenient compared to the solid dosage forms. So this is all about the semi-solid dosage forms. Thank you for listening. See you in the next video.